everyone.
Hey guys.
Welcome to Tandem Fandom's Top 10 Favorite Wrestlers of All Time, episode number 2.
I'm Mick.
I'm Courtney, and today we're covering our number 8 and 7 spots in our respective top 10 lists.
That's right. When you last joined us, we covered at number 10, Kurt Angle for myself, and at number 10,
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Number 9 for me was Mick Foley.
And number 9 for me was Goldust. Never gets old.
So without further ado, let's dive right into the list. At number 8, I have the straight edge savior of professional wrestling, CM Punk. When I think about CM Punk, I immediately go to the promo that he cut on SmackDown all those years ago. And in fact, I'm getting ahead of myself. You know what, YouTube? If you guys watching out there at home need to, why don't you reach out and place your hand on the monitor and touch my hand and let the power of straight edge into your life. That promo is some of the best promo work I've ever seen in the history of professional wrestling. The Straight Edge Society was so unbelievably good. It was such a great heel thing. It was so powerful.
It really was just like its own religion.
Yeah, it was fantastic because it was unique, it was different, it's something we never had seen before. And it was a little bit of a play of things that he did when he was with Ring of Honor, where he would be, you know, I'm CM Punk, I'm straight edge, and I'm better than you. It's so different, it's so thinking outside the box. But the best part about it is it's him. It's who he really is. He is a follower of the straight edge lifestyle, which they always say the best gimmicks are the ones that you believe in and the ones that you live. And it's the first thing I always think of is what a great talker Punk is and was, and just he knew how to work a crowd and manipulate him on top of being a really great wrestler. I mean, you know, his first exposure to mainstream audiences in WWE was with the ECW revival, and we were pretty fast fans of his in ECW. I mean, he was...
Well, he had a great look with the hand wraps and everything.
And the hair, and the X's on him, and the tattoos. He looked very different than any wrestler that WWE had at the time, which was really great and really refreshing to see this guy who had this new and different look about him, you know, and he incorporated like kind of some, you know, martial arts aspect into his character with the Muay Thai.
The kick pads.
Yeah, and the jiu-jitsu, and he did the submission maneuver, the Anaconda Vice, and it was really cool. And you know, we were actually at the last ECW pay-per-view, December to December. Yeah, it was something else. We'll actually in the future do a breakdown of that because we were there. And it was interesting. But, you know, Punk was involved in the...
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and I don't believe you see this on the broadcast of it, but when we were there live, you know, the guys were coming out and getting into their pods, and the crowd was super behind CM Punk.
Yeah, Punk was way over.
Oh, yeah. They're sitting there and they're chanting, Punk is crunk! Punk is crunk! And he's standing there and he's kind of nodding, and then he looks up and he looks at the crowd and he goes, wait! Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And everybody's like, good thing! And he's like, alright then. And it was really, really funny. And, you know, we were like dying laughing that he stops the crowd and was like, wait, is being crunk good or bad? I don't know. So, you know, really, really enjoyed his run in ECW. It was a really cool entrance. Without a doubt, he's way better as a heel than anything else. I loved his feud with Taker, where he steals the urn like right after Paul Bearer had passed, and he pours the ashes from the urn all over himself. And,
whoa, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it was powerful. Of course, everybody, you can't talk about CM Punk without mentioning the pipe bomb, which was an excellent promo that he cut on John Cena, you know, breaking kayfabe, and, you know, let me tell you a story about Vince McMahon, and then they cut the mic, and it was really cool. It was something that a lot of wrestling fans hadn't seen done before, a shoot promo of that magnitude, which is funny because it was almost exactly like the stuff that he did in the Summer of Punk with Ring of Honor. That's not the point, though. WWE likes to take really good Ring of Honor storylines and say, you know what, let's do them again, only on a bigger scale.
And a lot of people love it so much because they think it really was a shoot promo, but I don't think WWE is going to allow you through Gorilla unless they want you to go through Gorilla.
Vince McMahon lets you say what Vince McMahon wants you to say on his TV. But that being said, it was still a great promo. It's one of the best things that Punk does in terms of some of his matches. One of the ones that I love is it was when he was champion at the time, and I believe Daniel Bryan was champion at the time as well on SmackDown. I might be wrong on that, but they had a match on Raw, and it was a fantastic match. But they mirrored the finish of the Anderson Silva Chael Sonnen 2 fight in the UFC, where he goes for like the spinning back fist, he misses, and then knees him in the corner. Yeah. Like, that was a really cool, nice little touch that they added. So that's one of my favorite matches of Punk's that he's done. I really enjoyed his Undertaker match. Like I said, that was such an awesome match. Of course, his Money in the Bank, where he won the Money in the Bank contract, was really, really cool. His matches with Jeff Hardy on SmackDown for the world title were fantastic as well. He's moved on to trying to do MMA, have a UFC fight.
Maybe one day, maybe.
This is all in respect of CM Punk, okay?
Sorry, I'll keep
this is not a negative space.
I'll keep my opinions to myself.
Regardless of how you may feel about it, I have a tremendous amount of respect for a man who has never, been known for being a martial artist or a collegiate wrestler or a black belt in several disciplines, to actually walk away from being at professional wrestling's highest level, because he was one of the biggest stars in the business, to pursue a career at the highest level of mixed martial arts. I have a lot of respect for a guy to go into something where you're gonna get punched in the face. It's gonna happen. So, especially at his age and with his injury history. So, a lot of respect. I do wish him the best of luck with his UFC endeavor.
If he ever fights.
Exactly. He is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I am a big fan of all of the work that he's done. So that's what I have to say about CM Punk.
He did do a lot of good. He was amazing. You cannot deny that he was one of the most charismatic characters in recent pro wrestling history.
Absolutely. Great promo guy.
Absolutely. But speaking of charisma, if there is anybody in the history of professional wrestling that had charisma, it was Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Oh my. I didn't see that one coming, Daddy.
So, like I've said in the previous episode, one of the biggest things for me is character, deliverance. Dusty Rhodes gave the best promos of all time. It's
very hard to argue.
You cannot argue. Everybody can quote the Hard Times promo, Daddy.
That's Hard Times.
But not only could he cut a good promo, he could cut a good match too with his bionic elbows.
Dropping both like Dusty Rhodes, Daddy.
And he really laid the groundwork for a lot of current wrestlers to be more comfortable in front of the camera, to develop good promos, good characters, the importance of selling yourself on camera. The feud between him and Ric Flair is literally just foundation for modern professional wrestling. You cannot talk about old WWF and WCW and any sort of professional wrestling without mentioning Dusty Rhodes.
Absolutely. The man is truly a legend in the business. I mean, his influence and the things that he's done extend, far beyond like his in-ring work too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his work as a producer, his work as a booker, he had such a genius about really everything that he did when it came to wrestling. I mean, they say in life you meet people that were born to be something, and Dusty Rhodes was born to be in the wrestling business.
Absolutely.
He's just he's a genius. Like, literally, the contributions that he's made, the stars that he helped create. I mean, he created the War Games, which is one of the coolest matches ever. Like, and some of the most, just mind-blowing matches ever. Love the War Games.
And he really broke the mold for guys who didn't look athletic. I mean, Ric Flair never had a six-pack.
No, but I feel, looked more like an athlete than Dusty did.
Especially that classic kind of wrestler look.
Yeah.
But, Dusty, his belly was a little bit big, his hiney may have been a little bit big, but he could go toe-to-toe with anybody in the business.
But, brother, I'm bad, and they know I'm bad. I mean, he did. I think if you look at Dusty Rhodes, he really paved the way for
the common man.
Yeah, a guy like Kevin Owens,
Right.
Kevin Owens, there's a lot of Dusty Rhodes there because he can work, he can talk, and that's what Dusty could do. Dusty was a fantastic wrestler, and I really don't think he ever gets enough credit that he deserves for that.
And he was so great in what he did. It did carry on, especially with so many of the NXT kids, as he called them.
Oh, yeah.
Really benefited from his classes and his opinions and his teaching and his leadership. They could go to him, they could call him. He would help them find their names. Was Summer Rae?
Yep.
What was she going to be called?
Oh, Kylie
Summers.
Yeah, ain't no motherfucking
He picks
star.
up the phone and he says, "Ain't no motherfucking star. I've been named Kylie Summers. Summer Rae, that's the name."
Click. My favorite name story is the Sami Zayn name story. They when
they give when you go to get your gimmick or whenever you go to pick your name, they ultimately, the writers, they give you a list.
Yeah, pretty much
to choose from.
And so Sammy, there was what was it? Haydar was one of the names.
Because Sami Zayn is...
He's of Arabic descent, even though he is Canadian. But, so, Sammy, there's a lot of these names that he didn't like, but he came up with one that he liked, which was, of course, Sami Zayn. And he goes to the Dream, and he's like, Dream, they got all these names, and I don't know. And Dusty's like, which one do you like? He's like, well, I kind of like this one here, Sami Zayn. He's like, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. I like that. You tell him Dream said Sami Zayn, that's the name. And that was it. Like, the Dream decreed it, so shall it be. And, it's really cool that, Dusty just had that ability and that power to be like, this is what we're doing. And it happened. His influence is taken root in the business, I mean...
And it really stemmed from him being this common man underdog.
Son of a plumber, baby.
Son of a plumber. And overcoming the odds.
Absolutely.
And, saying, you want to talk, Ric Flair putting my family on hard times.
That's hard times.
Talk about hard times is when they come to you, they hand you a gold watch, they kick you in the butt and say, a computer took your job, daddy.
That's hard times.
That's hard times.
I always like his matches with superstar Billy Graham in New York. Just the where they had the cowbell and the blood and just like Dusty. His matches with Terry Funk. Like you said with Rick. Just so many great matches. I cannot stress enough. Dusty Rhodes is such a great wrestler.
And many people say it was a rib, but when they put him in the polka dots, what did he do? He danced, baby.
He made it work.
He made it work.
Dusty Rhodes could turn chicken shit into chicken salad. I mean, he was such a legendary, such a great influence on the business.
Just so creative and intelligent and passionate about the business itself, so much so that he was involved in the business up until the day that he was so unfortunately taken from us.
Yeah, I mean, it was when Dusty passed, it was really hard for us. I mean, if you can't tell in this probably like 5-10 minutes we've been going on about the Dream, we love Dusty quite a bit. You know, just his passion for the business, just everything that he gave.
Such an incredible loss for everybody involved in the WWE and even outside of the WWE.
Absolutely. And of all the things that Dusty contributed to the business, I think we're also fortunate enough that he contributed his 2 sons to be in the business. As you know, Goldust was on your list. You know, Dustin is such a fantastic talent, as is, you know, Cody Rhodes as well. So, you know, for that we thank him as well. And even I hate to hijack your number, but if we could, maybe a moment of silence and an elbow tap for the Dream. Well, on that somber moment, I would like to...
That's hard times.
That is hard times, Daddy. I need a king sweet, Daddy.
He's up in heaven, cooking and smoking.
While we're down here on YouTube, laughing and joking. Well, you know, of all the things that Dusty has given to the business, at my number 7, I would like to give something. I would like to give a gift if I could, and that would be the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man. At number 7, I have Y2J
Save
Chris
us.
Jericho.
Solid pick.
Can I tell you about the gift of Jericho for a moment?
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Y2J?
Chris Jericho, I have been a fan of this man since WCW. He had such a great energy when he debuted, and
such a great hairstyle.
Oh yeah, I mean when he debuted, you know, he was this kind of like milk white baby face. You know, I'm gonna give 110% all the time, and it was like, man, you know.
Well, one of his first matches, he goes against the Wunderkind.
Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright, yeah.
And Das Wunderkind gets hurt or something, and he's like, "Stop the match! I don't want to win this way." And he helps him backstage.
Yeah, and that's fine. But let me tell you, when Chris Jericho, and Chris has talked about this in interviews and stuff, when they said, you know, we're going to turn you heel, he was like, thank God! Because his heel work is absolutely some of the best heel work in the history of professional wrestling, hands down. Everything he did, I always find that he is better when he can work comedy into what he does with the, you know, Dean Malenko is the man of 1,000 holds. Well, I'm the man of 1,004 holds, you know, so one day he's like, to show how much better I am than Dean Malenko, I'm going to go to the ring and read my list of holds. He's got this
the printed
paper
computer
with paper.
The holes on the side.
Hold number 1, arm bar. Number 2, arm drag. And he's just reading these holds just one by one, you know, and they cut to commercial, and he said when they were in Chicago, I think at the time, and he was like,
Cubs suck.
Cubs suck, Blackhawks suck, Bears suck, White Sox suck. So when they come back, you know,
the crowd's just,
boo! You know, hold number 20, arm bar, and it's brilliant. And you know, where he would have the Jerichoholics, Jericho's personal security when he started a feud with Goldberg. It was he had Ralphus, and you know, the point where he wore a dress for a little bit, and you know.
The curse of every good heel is sometimes you get over.
Yeah.
So what would he do?
He would take away what you would do. If he started to say something that would catch on, you wrote a sign about Jericho, he would take your sign and rip it up in front of you.
And then never say what was on the sign again.
Yeah, he was so brilliant. I mean, and that's something that he really started to incorporate when he became the very serious slow-speaking Javier Bardem, No Country for Old Men. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? And he, like, when he would call the crowds hypocrites, so people would start writing signs that would say, like, hypocrites. He wouldn't say it anymore. He would stop doing it. In a world where we're completely aware that professional wrestling is a work, you know, it's
what? Sorry.
it's entertainment. It's a
Right.
show. He was attacked in 2010. Someone attacked.
2010?
In 2010, someone attacked Chris Jericho in a parking lot for him being a heel. Like, that just shows you how good this man is. And I mean, we see it today with the scarf and the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man. Like
he just is sipping his own Kool-Aid every day.
he buys into everything that he does, and he's so good, and he's so incredibly talented as an individual because, you know, he's got his band that he does with Fozzy, and they are really good as a rock band.
Right.
And, you know, Chris is the kind of guy that he doesn't believe that you're held to any limitation. If you want to do something, you do it. If you work hard, you can do it. In terms of his matches, I thought his work with Rey Mysterio in WCW was fantastic. His work with I'm blanking right now. Oh, Dean Malenko. Duh. Dean Malenko in WCW was so good. When he came to WWF and worked with China in the Intercontinental title picture, that was really good stuff. His tag team that he had with Chris Benoit, that was really good. Of course, being the first ever undisputed champion by beating The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night. You know, just all the other things, you know, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, the sexy beast, baby! You know, just the highlight reel, the obscenely expensive Geratron 5000. You know,
just that quality, just over-the-top entertainment.
Of course, you can't talk about great Chris Jericho matches without talking about his matches with Shawn Michaels. With the match at WrestleMania, which was fantastic. The feud where he throws Michaels into the television, or into the Geratron 5000, and just him punching Shawn Michaels' wife, and just that whole feud was so great. His match with Edge at WrestleMania, I really liked. Just everything that Chris does, he's great. When he says, "I'm the best in the world at what I do today. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now, YouTube?" Because he is. You know, I love...
And when he returned in 2006, it was still just over the top awesome.
Save us, Y2J.
Break the code. I loved it.
I love everything that Chris does. The only thing that I do wish for, and it's a little selfish, I wish he would stay around more. You know, he shows up for a while and then he goes and he does other things, and I know that he does that for him, but it's selfish to say, but I wish we would get more of him in the ring because he is just so fantastic. Without a doubt, he'll go into the Hall of Fame, and it will be well deserved. And I enjoy drinking in the gift of Jericho every week. So, you know, Chris Jericho is number 7 for me. Mm-hmm. Love that Jericho.
Well, my number 7 is a little colder.
Really?
Yeah. And that's going to be Steve Austin, most famously known as Stone Cold.
What?
I said Stone Cold.
What?
I said he's a cold son bitch.
What?
I said he likes a cold swig of beer.
What?
But of course he didn't start as Stone Cold.
No, not at all.
He started as
Stunning Steve
Austin.
Well, actually, it may be wrong. I believe he was very originally Superstar Steve Austin and then became Stunning Steve.
Because of his gorgeous blonde locks.
He had a great head of hair. He just didn't get a lifetime guarantee.
But, you know, he didn't really get to shine until WCW let him go.
Pretty much. I mean, he had a decent career in WCW. You know, was United States champion, was a
Right.
TV champ, tag champ.
Hollywood Blondes.
Oh yeah, great stuff with Brian Pillman.
But they let him go. They let him go. They fired Steve Austin.
On the damn phone is how they fired him.
And that's why they lost the war. No, I'm just kidding. So he goes to ECW. He cuts some of the most real and passionate promos you will ever see, because I just watched them again and my heart is still overflowing for him. It's just, and he, you know, he hits the bottom line and stuff, and
Yeah.
you see, you're like, this is where it began.
Yep.
This is where Stone Cold started, and it's wild, because one of the best gimmicks are a piece of yourself.
Absolutely. Yourself turned to 11 is
Yeah.
what they tend to say.
And that's what Stone Cold actually was. It is Steve Austin turned to 11. But he didn't get there until the 1996 King of the Ring.
Absolutely. Which is the defining promo that, you know, you sit there and you thump your Bible, and where did it get you but nowhere? Talk about your Psalms, talk about your John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
Ah!
And that was a point in time where wrestlers didn't talk like that. You didn't
You're
say that sort of stuff in a promo. And he did. And it was real. And it was impassioned. And it was amazing.
And it was over AF.
Absolutely.
But
And
when he first got hired into the WWF, he was the ringmaster.
the ringmaster.
So they
Master of the Ring!
they saw the potential and snatched him up out of ECW.
Mhm.
So he wrestled matches as the ringmaster, good matches and solid gimmick, I guess. I like the idea of it, but until Austin 3:16, yeah, I mean, you really don't even need to watch.
Yeah, it's...
But to go from Stunning Steve Hollywood Blonde to the Texas Rattlesnake, that is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just an incredible swing of the pendulum, almost as much as John Paul Levesque and Terrorizing to
I was a
Triple
big
H.
fan of Terrorizing all that.
Just this complete 316 that and he's one of the most iconic wrestlers in history.
Absolutely, and it's weird to say, considering the career that he did have. I look at Steve a lot of times as a big what-if story. What if he never got injured? What if Owen Hart never
Right.
broke his neck with that pile driver? What would he have been able to do, or what could he have been able to have done?
Or what would he have not done?
Exactly. So that's where I look at it, and it's kind of like, man, he was like, on fire, and he gets injured, and he has to take time away, and it could have, and that is one of the worst injuries I've seen. Like,
Oh my
it
goodness.
looked like Owen killed him. Like, and he even says himself, as he hit, and he's thought Christopher Reeves, he's thought, I'm paralyzed, I'm never walking again.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. If you,
It's horrifying
Ugh.
to think of, because
Ugh, makes my neck sick.
I couldn't imagine being in that situation. Because not only is that your job, your livelihood that's being snatched away from you in a split second, it is your quality of life.
Absolutely. And a point in time where that could have been the end for him, just straight up, because that's a big injury, and it's a testament to how endeared that character was to the fans, that he was able to take that time off and still come back and be relevant,
Right.
and still have just the amazing Hall of Fame career that he did. I mean, he is...
And thank goodness for the faith of the WWE.
Absolutely, and it's really just amazing, and a testament to his ability and his skills.
And his passion for the business, because
Absolutely.
there's plenty of people who would take that injury and never return.
Absolutely. I mean, his feud with Vince McMahon, It's arguably what helped keep the WWF afloat in the Monday Night Wars. I mean, if you don't have Austin versus McMahon,
if you don't
there's
have
no telling.
this every man telling his boss to take this job and shove it every week, that's what the audience really attached to, because who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to kick their boss in the belly and give them a stunner?
In a really strange way, I think you can look at Stone Cold as kind of a modern day Dusty Rhodes, because he's very much a common man.
He's just a common man.
He's this
drinking beer from a can.
He's this Texas, this guy from Texas.
Right.
He doesn't have like movie star, no offense, no movie star good looks or anything,
right.
but I mean, it's like if you look at him and you look at The Rock, and The Rock has like the legacy and the family and the looks, and
right,
he's
and
this great
football career.
Exactly. And then Austin, he's this regular beer drinking, ass kicking guy. He's very, very much in the vein of a Dusty Rhodes, and it's crazy. And I think of Stone Cold, and I think of things like the two-man power trip with Triple H, where they were tag partners. I think of one of my favorite matches, and I didn't mention this with the when I talked about Kurt Angle, but his match for the world title against Kurt Angle, where Kurt won. Man, he was such a despicable son of a bitch leading up to that match. Like, it was crazy. He always says, like, when he turned heel and aligned with Vince and everything, that it was a downturn. I thought it was great.
It was quality stuff.
Yeah, I loved it.
The Kumbaya on the guitar was worth it.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
Like, just over the top hilarity.
Oh, Lord. Kumbaya. What?
Yeah.
Of course, the what?
So, yeah, the what? Like, people still do the what.
Your name's Hugh Morris?
What?
Like that's humorous?
What?
I mean...
But he contributed to some of the most iconic moments of the Attitude Era. The beer truck.
Oh, man, that was so fantastic.
And just, there's footage of him riding down the ramp in a computer chair, like with wheels, just multiple times.
And he hits the thing and falls, and he's like, I'm drunk! When he was I believe that's when he was like the co-GM or the sheriff of Raw, and he would ride around on his little ATV and just drink beer and party, and it just
really spoke to the audience.
Yeah, his matches with The Rock that he had were great. Matches with Triple H. I mean, really, like, everything the guy's done is fantastic. I mean, he truly is one of the superstars of the business, and yeah, he is pretty fantastic.
Yep.
I love Steve. And swig a beer for the working man.
Swig a cocktail.
Yep, and in honor of Stone Cold, we will give a double bird salute. All right. Well, I think that wraps us up for number 8 and 7. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Pretty solid list so far.
Absolutely. I hope you guys enjoyed the gift of Jericho, as I know I do pretty much every week.
And, let us know where these wrestlers would fall on your list, if they're all on your list at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to comment along as we go along in there and let us know what your number 8 and number 7 are. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share the videos. We do appreciate it every time somebody does.
Every single time. And let us know what you think on Facebook. We're also on Twitter and Instagram.
That's right. And as we always say here, if you're going to be a fan,
bring a friend.
What?